You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. This weekend, the Manitoba Opera celebrates the grandest of art forms with a gala concert featuring the best of the best, hit after hit. To tell us more, I'm joined by Manitoba Opera General Director and CEO Larry Desrochers. Great to see you, Larry.
Great to see you, Simon. How are you?
You know what? I'm doing real well. A gala concert, one night featuring the hits in person or online. Sounds like a marvelous way to close out a season.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. We had to postpone Latino Rental, and so we thought, what a better way to end the season with lots of familiar repertoire. Great artists coming: David Pomeroy, Andrea Chuchmann, James Westman, Kathy Daniels, Lizzie Hoyt. Just such a great array of artists, and yeah, singing hit after hit. So it should be fun.
Well, I mean, before we get to those artists, and I want to talk about each one of them for at least a brief moment, because, like you say, some great Canadian talent going to be on the Centennial Concert Hall stage. As you were just mentioning, not quite how things were originally drawn up, though, not quite how things envisioned. And just in case listeners are wondering, I just want to speak to the fact that Latino Rental has been postponed, right? It's just when the decisions needed to be made back at the beginning of the year in 2022, just couldn't quite make that decision to get on stage, right?
Yeah, obviously we were looking at a lot of scenarios all the time, and we had to make the decision fairly early to give us enough time to plan a replacement. And really, the worst case scenario that we looked at is perhaps we could get through, and our concern was about conducting a safe rehearsal environment for the artists. So even a small show like La Cenerentola, there was probably going to be 35 people in a room at one time with a small chorus and that in an enclosed space. And even if we could get through that, there was still the risk that perhaps we got through tech week and everything, and then the conductor would get sick on opening night, right? And then that would be a real problem, or even one of the principal artists. And we decided that the risk was too great. A full production is hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this was by doing a concert, reducing the number of people involved. It just was seemed to be a much less riskier scenario. So, and then making the decision earlier allowed us to actually be able to, pull these artists together and pull a program together in very short order.
Yeah, the amount of work that goes into a full opera production is incredible. And I know those rehearsals get underway in like January, especially for the chorus, as they lead up to what seems to be an easy production, right? I mean, that is the whole name of the game, is making it seem easy, but there's so much work that goes into it. So the fact that you were able to go and secure artists like this, most of these artists have performed with Manitoba Opera before. What does it mean to have someone like Andrea Chuchmann, for instance, coming back to the Centennial Concert Hall stage to perform in this gala concert?
Oh, well, it's delightful. We're always happy to have Andriana back with us. And um, one of the pieces that she's going to perform is from Rigoletto. It's Caronome, and she just made her debut as Gilda at the Met. I mean, she sung at the Met before, but it was a debut role for her. So that was fortuitous for us and pretty exciting. So yeah, she's just such a lovely performer and a beautiful singer. We're happy to have her.
There's another former student of Tracy Dahl's returning to town, mezzo-soprano Catherine Daniel, who's currently based in Toronto, right? She hasn't been back in a number of years, I don't think.
Yeah, I actually think she's back in Edmonton now.
I can't even keep track. That's right.
I could be wrong. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, Kathy studied with Tracy. She sang in our chorus. She sang Mercedes for us in 2010,
Mm-hmm.
and then has been off to sing some great parts. She sang in Terrace Blanchard's Champion. I can't remember what the role is at L'Opera Montreal. She's sung Elisabetta, I think, in Don Carlo. So yeah, great repertoire. It'd be great to have her back.
Perhaps a less familiar name, one who was supposed to make a Manitoba Opera debut in a postponed Cenerentola production, Lizzie Hoyt, who has this fascinating career as not only an opera singer, but also a Celtic singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist. I mean, how cool is that?
Very versatile. She came to our attention through our digital emerging artist program. She
That's right.
was in the first year of the program, and Yeah, she's crossed over into classical music, and she's a wonderful singer. And then I think to her advantage, she already has all this stage experience, right? So even though she might be a young artist in terms of operatic singing, she's a seasoned performer already. So great for her, and we're looking forward to having her in the concert and then next fall in the Generenta.
And speaking of people who've been on the Centennial Concert Hall stage before, David Pomeroy comes back to town. How many productions has he been in for Manitoba Opera? Do you know off the top of your head, Larry?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I think we were one of the first companies to hire David after he was in the COC ensemble. And so that goes back to Lucia in, I think, 2002 or three. And he's been back a number of times. Um, he sang Florestan and Fidelio for
Mhm.
us, and then he was scheduled to sing Don Jose and Carmen, the Carmen that we canceled in 2020. So yeah, he sang the Duke here for us and Rigoletto. So yeah,
And Pinkerton
always great
too,
to have David back.
and Pinkerton as well, right? From Madame
And
Butterfly.
Pinkerton, yeah,
He's just
yeah,
been one of those
yeah,
performers who keeps coming back, and rightfully so. He's got such an incredible voice, and so to have him performing hits, it's going to be a great one. And the other fella on the bill is another, no stranger, James Westman, coming back to town. He's performing a little bit of Carmen, right?
Toreador song, yeah, from Carmen, and also Germain's aria from La Traviata. He was the Germain in the production here that in 2018 with Angel Blue. Yeah, so always great to have James back. And again, uh, I think James, we might have hired him right out of the COC ensemble too, and Cosi fan tutte back in 2003, I think, for Guillermo. So yeah, we have so many great singers in Canada and great singers in Manitoba. It's great that we can put them all together on this program.
Yeah,
I mean, and you could probably add another like 100, right?
yeah, it's very, very true. And I mean, I think one thing that has become clear in this conversation is the fact that Manitoba Opera has given so many emerging talent their first real, opportunity to get on the big stage, whether it's people like David Pomeroy or James Westman or people like Lizzie Hoyt, who we're going to see in the new year. And this weekend they're going to be performing some great tunes. I mean, we've sort of touched on the performances, but the composers speak for themselves. Puccini, Verdi, Bizet, Mozart. This is like an opera hit parade, pretty much, Larry.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Well, since we were, uh, postponing the Cenerentola, we really wanted to have, some operatic comfort food for people, and it's been a long winter, and we've gone through the pandemic, and now this horrible war that's going on. We want to present something that's going to be really uplifting for people, and hope they have a good time. We're inviting people to get dressed up. People haven't had a chance to get dressed up in a long time, so I'll be sporting a tuxedo, and there'll be women in gowns, and yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, fun it will be indeed. I think this one, I remember reading the press release, was billed as an opportunity to dust off your duds, your
Yeah.
fancy duds. And yeah, I don't even know if I remember how to tie a tie anymore, Larry, let alone, put on a tuxedo and all that good stuff. And you mentioned, serving up some opera comfort food. And this is going to be served up alongside the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra. I have to give them a special shout out because, that just adds so much to the grandeur of the production, directed by Tyrone Patterson.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the orchestra is such a fantastic orchestra, and they are a great opera orchestra too. So it's going to be thrilling to hear all these pieces with the orchestra on stage with Ty conducting.
And the whole evening, hosted by another familiar face and familiar voice to Manitoba Opera. Monica Huseman is going to be the guest MC, right?
Yeah, Monica's going to be the guest MC, and so delighted to have her there. She'll bring a little singer's perspective to the whole evening, and yeah, she's a wonderful performer in her own right. So yeah, another local artist who's just so exceptional.
Absolutely. Larry, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me about the Gala concert coming up this weekend. Enjoy the evening, enjoy wearing that tuxedo again, and embracing the joy that yeah, the joy that is opera. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, Simon. Thanks so much.
An opera hit parade at the Centennial Concert Hall this weekend. The Manitoba Opera Gala concert. 2 ways to watch in person: $65 and $40 for tickets plus venue fees. And then live stream access for $25 plus GST per household. You can find more details up at mbopera.ca or classic107.com.